So today we're going to do 21 through 30. Remember, if something is easy, circle it. If it's hard, put a box on it. If neither one, you can just leave it. If you get an answer wrong, mark it out and change it. Now 21 asked me to graph. So I've got my calculator pulled up here. I'm going to go to y equals, and I'm going to type in the equation, negative x squared plus 6x minus 1. I'm going to hit graph, and that's what it looks like. So I can eliminate C, B, but it's pretty close between A and D. So what I want to do is actually check a point. So we've got our vertex right here. It looks like it's at 3 and 8 on this one, and 3 and 10 on this one. And I'm going to go to the table, second and graph to go to the table, 3, 8. All right, so not 3, 10. So that one is out. A has to be my correct answer. All right, this one gives me a table. It says a linear function. So this is a linear function based on the table, best prediction for the number of clicks if 1,500 people visit the website. So I would go to stat, press enter and edit, and then I would type in all this stuff right here in L1 and all this stuff right here in L2. If you have something in there, you can go up to L2 and press clear and get rid of it and retype it. Then we're going to press stat, go over to calc, and it said linear, so that's going to be number 4, linear. And I'm going to tell it to calculate, and it's going to give me an equation. My equation is basically going to be y equals. This is going to be my slope, so we're going to call that what? 0.052x. And then plus, let's call it 5.539. How about that? Okay, we'll go back to my home screen. And now I'm going to replace this x with 1,500. So I'm going to do 0.052 times 1,500 plus 5.539. Press enter. All right, I get an answer of 83.5. So this is based on the table, what is the best? So that means we're not going to get an accurate answer, but it's pretty close, 83.5 to just 83. So that one's going to be H. Okay, there's several things we can do here. We got a linear equation, and it wants to, or I'm sorry, linear graph, and we've got equations, and it wants to match it. Well, this is the slope, so I can narrow it down if I can find the slopes. Let me find 2 good points. Looks like that's a good point right there, and maybe right there. So to go from here to here, I would count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my slope is going to be 5 over 7. So A is out, B is out. Now these are supposed to be, well, so basically C's got to be a right answer or D. Well, I picked this point right here that was at 0, -3. Right, and this is an X value, and this is a Y value. So what I'm going to do is plug these in. So I'm going to put -3 right here, because that's my Y, and I'm going to put 0 right there. We'll do it on this one also. All right, -3 plus 2 makes -1. -3 minus 2 makes -5. All right, for the other side, if I do 5/7 times 7, because that's 0, 0 plus 7 is 7, I get 5. Well, -1 does not equal 5. That's wrong. 0 minus 7 is -7 times 5/7 makes -5. And that does equal -5. So D is my right answer. And you can do that in the calculator. If you wanted to, let me get rid of this. If you wanted to, once we'd found the slope and narrowed it down, I can -2 and move it over here. And I could +2 and move it over here. And now these are set up to graph. I could then put it in y equals and graph it if I wanted to. That's another good way to do that. Okay, if we're squaring stuff, then the x has to be squared, and the -6 has to multiply by 2, so that'd be -12. So we need x squared and y -12. That's H. All right, a college student completed some courses worth 3 credits and some worth 4. The student earned a total of 59 after completing 18 courses. So x plus y is going to equal 18. He did 18 courses. We're going to call the 3 credit ones x, 4 credit ones y. So he did 3x plus 4y equals 59. How many courses worth 3 credits did he complete? So we're looking for x. So what we could do is plug in a number here and see if it works. So like maybe I think the answer is 13. Well, since my total is 18, this would have to be 5 because 13 plus 5 makes 18. And then I could plug in the 13 here. 3 times 13 would be 39. 4 times the 5 would be 20. And 39 plus 20 makes 59. So, hey, 13 works. You could also do any of those substitution, elimination. You could put it in a matrix. We had a whole bunch of ways to solve this. You could graph them and see where the lines crossed. Whole bunch of different ways you could solve this. Now, what we have to do, see, 25. Oh, let's go to the next one. All right, the graph of a linear function passes through the point 1, negative 9. So I'm going to put a dot. It has a slope of negative 3. So 1, 2, 3 over 1. All right, 0 is going to be where it crosses the x-axis. So what I'm going to do is continue this. 1, 2, 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. So negative 2 is where we cross the x-axis. Now, normally with negative slope, I would go down and right, but we couldn't because we ran out of graph. So it's okay to go up and left. As long as my line is going downhill, then I know we did it right. And my slope was negative 3 over 1. So I was going up 3 and left 1, up 3, left 1, up 3, left 1. That's how I found that. Y-intercept, okay. We're going to go to y equals, clear it out. I'm going to put in 29, 5.2 to the x power. We hit graph. It's going to be way up there somewhere, but we can actually find the y-intercept by going to the table and looking for the x value being 0. So wherever x is 0, that's going to be the y-intercept. It's 0 at 29. So my answer is 29. Which function is represented by this graph? Okay, so let's just try to graph them. So I got x squared minus 3x minus 9. And I'm going to hit graph. That looks pretty close, but it looks like it dips off too much. So we're going to call this a maybe. That's kind of close. All right, and then it's got plus 3x. Graph. Now I went left, so that's wrong. And then we're going to do x squared minus 6x. Ooh, yeah, that one looks good. So, you know what? Not that one. This one looks a lot better. All right, let's try one more. We're going to do plus 6x. We hit graph. Nope. All right, so that one's out. It says got to be h. All right. So it says which expression is equivalent. Again, I don't want to do that one. Go back here. What we could do is store a number in x. I like to do 3. So 3 store x. And I could type in 24x squared minus 22x plus 5. That gives me an answer of 155. So what I could do is go through and type all these in, and I can find which one matches. I do 12x plus 5. And notice I'm typing them in just like they look. 2x plus 1. All right, makes 287, so that's out. In fact, because this is a minus, there's no minuses in there. It can't be that one either. Okay, so let's try B. So we're going to do 8x minus 5, 3x minus 1, 152. That's close, but not quite right. So 12x minus 5, 2x minus 1. There's my 155 that the original problem made. See, it made 155. All right, then that has to be my answer. C. For this one, I can see that I have a y-intercept of 4 and negative 4. So this has a y-intercept of negative 4 and negative 2. Negative 4, negative 2. All right, so it's got to be either G or J. The one that's 4 is positive. It's going uphill. Well, that one's a negative, so there we go. The negative 4 has a negative slope. You could also graph them in the calculator, but that takes a little bit longer than just looking at them. All right, that should do it for 21 through 30.